first and foremost, I want to give all the honors, the praises, the glory, and the honors belong to Yahweh. Bahasham Yahabashai, Bahasham Mahavaka Kwadash. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. His Son's name is Yahabashai, in who I reverence. And honors to the apostles that are in the Holy Spirit, and to the hopeful elect across the globe, and to the very few brothers and sisters listening and learning, right? In the hopes of being saved within these last days. I hope you brothers and sisters are staying spiritually motivated and fervent in the spirit of Yahweh Shai, because there's a lot of things going on. This lesson I want to speak upon, basically what it's going to be, is going to be basically upon the beast system, and those that have been servants, that are being servants, and those that are not servants, those that are being servants of this beast system. I call them demon bots. You see everything that's going on. You're seeing people's personalities change. There's a lot of stuff we're seeing, right? So Lord, within this to be edifying. Got a few things written down. Where should we start? We're going to start at Psalm 64. You do know the whole agenda is to get everybody chipped. Human global database. Like I've said before, the infrastructure is already set up. When you go to Revelations 13 and 16, it says he calls if all, both small, great, rich, free, bond to receive a mark in their right hand or their forehead. Right? So what's that mark? Charagma, incision, imprint, stamp, belonging to what? That Antichrist. So the system that's being actually built up is an Antichrist system. So if it's an Antichrist system, that means if you have so-called Christ's message, his name is Yahweh Shai Mashiach, that means they're going to be anti-Messiah. Right? That's the agenda. That is the agenda. Right? When you go to Psalm 64 and 2, it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. So who would that be? Who would the workers of iniquity be? Who would that be? It would be the elites and on down. Right? And your lower level masons. From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. They all they know how to do is work iniquity, sin. Right? And you see it by the things they're doing. When you really wake up to the program, which is the system, you rarely see. So hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. And they're having secret counsels. Right? Who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter worse. So what does that mean? When they're wetting their tongue like a sword, that's different legislations, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Legislation, which they push out. And it says, Baba Kishar, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. So this is aimed specifically. It says at the perfect. So when certain brothers may say, well, I'm not perfect. No, there is perfect men upon this earth today. Because then it wouldn't say that shoot at the perfect. So the wicked, the workers of iniquity, is really targeting re-elect, because it says they shoot at the perfect. Right? And the perfect would be known as the elect, hopeful elect. Right? And it says, Baba Kishar, that they may shoot in secret. So they're doing it secretly. Various different means. What's that? AI. Different systems they got, different supercomputers, different methods, different technology, different scientists. That's them shooting in secret. Right? And it says, because you're not supposed to know. Right? But the Lord gives us discernment. Yahushua gives us discernment to see these things. And it says, Baba Kishar, they shoot at him and fear not. So when these people are doing these particular things, there's no fear when they're doing it. They all get together and they cheer each other on. Right? There is no fear when they're doing these things. Right? And it says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. Encourage, it means to get together, cheer each other on. right? So this is the mind of these psychopaths, right? These are the people that are spurring the new world order on. These are the people that want this global agenda, right? They commune of laying snares, privily, snare traps. And now this all ties in, it's all making sense. That's why we need to go through certain things. They commune of laying snares, they get together. Remember they have a network. You always got to remember that. Brotherhoods, sororities, they have networks. Because they want to fit in, and that's what they do. They network. Okay? And it says, Baba Kishar, they laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? So there's so many snares when you're out here. And they think, who's going to see? Nobody's going to see. But what they don't realize is the Heavenly Father. He's really the one that's in control. Always like to tell brothers and sisters, the Masons are not in control. They have to give you that illusion that they are in control. Then when you accept that, then that means they are. But they're not in control, because who's in control? Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai. He controls the evil. He just set them up to do evil, right? So he can destroy them. Okay? We're not in control. No matter where they go, no matter what they do, they're not in control. Right? That's why they need you to notice them. Don't you understand the game? And once you notice them, then they can turn it up. Then they can turn it up. But if you don't notice them, then it doesn't work. You just stop giving them your power, your energy. That's all. Okay? Don't look at them. It's simple. Pay no attention to them. And you take their power away. Alright? So it says, Baba Kishar, they say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search because they have tech. Right? There's particular tech that's been given to these people. And that's why it says they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent, key thing, diligent search. So how are they able to do that? Unless they have technology. Right? Because they don't have discernment. They have tech. Right? Because they're counterfeit. Remember, the devil's a counterfeit. So that's how they're able to search out iniquity. Do background checks, do this, do that. It's through their tech. Right? And it says, Baba Kishar, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Right? Key thing. Diligent search. Both the inward thoughts of every one of them in the heart is deep. Bro, we've done this. The neurolink, linguistics, right? Brain mapping. This is what's going on. Bro, they're trying to map your brain out, right? And they can all link this in. It's all linked in with supercomputers, drones now. You got the planes. Guess what? They're not all they're planes, but a lot of these planes are actually drones now. If you didn't notice, right? That are being controlled via remote, and they can tap into signals and so forth. So this high advance, what's that called? It's part of the beast. They want everything tracked. Everything tracked. Everything. Right? It's neuro-linguistic programming. Look it up. Right? They want to map you. They want to map your brain. They want to map your movements. They want to map every single thought. Everything. But this is the thing. Now, with the elect, that's not going to work. Point blank period. With the elect, that's not going to work. Why? Because Yahweh said it would not work. Matthew 24, excuse me just a minute. Oh, there's so much on my mind. Right, but this technology, it is real, yeah, it's real technology that's being used today as I'm speaking. Right? How do you think they get people to perform these tasks? They get people to perform these tasks via neuro linking. Some of these people, they don't even know what they're doing. They're just being manipulated via tech, via demons. Because tech, demons, same thing. Lying wonders. Satan, lying miracles. And I keep telling you, Satan loves technology. Right? He uses that to further his agenda. He's just using pawns. He's using these people as pawns. That's what you got to realize. That's how you know we're in the last days. We are in the last days, man. Psalm 64. Now let's jump to verse 6. They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Right? They're able to map out certain things, certain research, bio, right? All that stuff, data, right? What else? What else? Cells, studying. This is in-depth search. Very in-depth search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. So they have and this is, bro, funding. Not millions, billions have went into this program, right? And it's not just for 1 year. It's catered to targeted individuals, but it's also catered to the public. Because if you didn't know, your American government, your CIA, your FBI, they've been using this thing upon you from a long, long time, very long time, right? And the same things happen in the UK, all over the world, China, all these things, right? So you can't really get too upset when people are doing what they're doing, right? A lot of them are under MK Ultra, right? And when you're part of a Masonic lodge as well, yeah, you get MK Ultra. They basically shatter your mind, right? So they can indoctrinate you. That's what Masonic lodges do. They shatter your mind so they can indoctrinate you, and now Satan can get up in there. And you wonder why when you get to the age of 40 or 50, you have dementia. You've done that to yourself. Oh man, maybe just a minute. So we went to that part of it, right? Now, that's how they're able to do that diligent search. And AI, I've done a little bit of research, has created a monitoring tool, right? And this was during the so-called COVID pandemic, right? A monitoring tool that issues an alert when anyone is less than desired distance from a colleague. This was happening during the COVID. And during the COVID pandemic, guess what you had going on? You had the cell towers getting put up while all this was happening. So there was experiments going on. Even when you were on transport, did you see a lot of people with a pad and a pen? They were writing. Bro, these were researchers. They were writing who's following, who's doing this, who ain't doing that. There were studies going on when all that was happening, right? There was alerts on phones as well. Or if you're standing 2 meters apart, would you please report it? All that was going on. That was a psyops. That was a psyops. If you see anyone, if you see there more than 2 or 3 people in a household, or anyone visiting a household, would you please ring us now? Bro, that's terrible. So what were they actually practicing? They were practicing self-policing and community policing. All that was going on. What is it to your next door neighbor, to anyone else, if you have a family members coming over? Whether it's COVID or not. You don't know a man's situation. Someone could be in a very serious situation. All that was happening. That was a test. That was a prelude to the NWO. And it says, Baba Kishar, and it says that monitoring was created and issued a monitoring tool that issues an alert when anyone is less than desired distance from a colleague using security footage. Network picks out people in the video and algorithms analyzes the space between them. Right? So that's what was going on. That's what was going on. Right? And brothers and sisters as well, I don't know if it's with all supermarkets. Have you noticed now? I don't know if it's all supermarkets. One supermarket I go to, now they have these stupid headsets on. Right? They look like damn robots, cyborgs. It looks like some amount of, I don't know, what they call it, Transcender, or that movie. Now they got their stupid headsets on. So when you get there, they get alerted. And there's also a screen now. When they go into the market, there's a screen. As soon as you step in, there's a screen as well. You don't know what they've connected to that screen. That could all be AI connected. Right? All of it. All of that could be AI connected. Right? So this is high tech. This is high level, high tech stuff. Right? When you go to your supermarkets, you got these people in Sainsbury's now. They all got fucking headsets on. So they're getting alerted as well. All these people, they're being programmed. But it's programming. It's programming. And what else can you call it? It's programming. Neuro-linguistic programming. Right? They don't know any better. Some of them do, but they don't care. Because they like being slaves. They like being robots. Right? So they got their headsets. They got what else? And there ain't nothing as well for a police officer to act up as like he's working for Sainsbury's, but it's just a police officer. Like, so many things are going on. So many things are going on. But I want to stick with one topic at a time. So this was also going on within the supermarkets. Now you have screens. As soon as you enter in, it's like an AI screen. Everything's being seen. You don't know if it can read your eye retina, right? Your pulse, right? Then also, like I said, you also have people with headsets on, right? Okay, like, and oh, not that else as well. What else did I see? Yeah, the individual had what else did he have? He had a camera on his chest. So this guy had a camera on his chest. You know that the police, when they walk around now, they have the cameras on their chest, bro. We're living in a police state, bro. It's here now. It's here now. You ain't really got too much freedoms. You ain't got no freedoms. That's an illusion. You don't have no freedoms. Welcome to communist Britain. Right? Welcome to communist Britain. Welcome to social communist Britain. Yeah. Right? Because the people of this world that run the governments, they believe in the Communist Manifesto. They read them type of things. They're believers of Karl Marx and all these other individuals. Right? It's called capitalist. A capitalistic country where you have no freedoms, you have no rights. Right? London has the most cameras, by the way, in the world, the whole entire world. So the moment you step out your house, camera there, even before you step out into the city, well, guess what? Now they've got an all your neighbors to put in a certain light. It's called a sensor light, right? And it's able to sense anyone in proximity of that sensor. So now you have people coming into community saying you need a sensor light. No, you don't. But because these people are so stupid, that's what they do. Oh, you need to put up cameras. So even before you hit the city, there's cameras up just before you've left. And how do you think they're able to track you so easy? Right? Okay, they're able to do that through tech devices, so some smart devices you've got. That's how they're able to do these things, man. Right? This is real, and this is how we know we're getting closer to the end, because the scripture said these things would happen. Right? And this is all it's all the workings of the devil, by the way, because he's trying to create a superficial kingdom. Because he's jealous. Remember, he's jealous, he's envious of Yahweh Shai, who is the power and principality, the power of all the principalities. He's jealous. So the devil needs a counterfeit system upon earth. Don't you get it? An infrastructure upon earth that mimics what's really happening in the heavens. And that's what's going on. Right? You will never be able to really fully map out everybody that's on the earth fully, unless they have that device. That's why that device, the RFID chip, is going to be implemented very soon. That's why they're setting up these algorithms. That's why they're trying to map out your brain. Right? And if you can't be mapped out, you're seen as useless. Simple as that. If you can't be programmed, this is how serious it is. If you can't be programmed, they're going to say, well, we have no use of you, because when the New World Order comes, you're not going to bow down. So, you know what I mean? They're testing who's going to fall for it, who's not. This is serious stuff, man. So we went to that. Now I'm going to go to... Hold on, bear me just a minute. And the devil wants to rule the world, right? He wants to rule the world. And in order to do this, he needs people who are willing to consent to him. He needs pawns. I call them useful idiots. That's what he needs. That's what he needs. Right? People to conform. Okay? In real time. Who are willing to consent to him. He needs pawns, useful idiots. So, a lot of people have, whether they know it or not, a lot of people have given themselves over to the devil. You have to be able to see what's going on. Now, 3 years ago, was it this bad? No way. No way. Now you're walking past these people, it's like they're just bots. They're like robots. No soul. So now let's go to Revelation. All right. This is Revelations 19 and 19. And I saw the beast, John the Revelator, and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him. So this is talking about the beast, which is known as NATO, League of Nations, and so forth, right? Which are also members of the New World, right? Gathered together to make war against him, who our Savior, whose name is Yahweh Shai, right? That sat upon the horse and against his army. Because guess what? We have an army. We have the greatest army. Yahweh Shai has an army. And the beast was taken with him and the false prophet that wrought miracles. It says the beast was taken, right? So the beast is going to be taken. Ultimately, the devil's going to lose, right? The beast was taken, right? And it says, Baba Kashar, and with him and the false prophet. So the beast, the false prophet, and the false prophet is known as the Catholic Church, right? That wrought miracles. So the beast is going to be taken, which is this system, and the false prophet that wrought what? Miracles. So the false prophet is what? Working miracles, which is the Catholic Church, right? Which deals with universalism, right? And it says, Baba Kashar, and with him, which he deceived them that have received the mark of the beast. So check this out. Read this again, right? And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet, the church, and also this acquaintancy of false prophets, those that were part of certain organizations, even in Great Millstone, even in IUIC, it's all under one umbrella. All those that were serving the beast, right, was taken, and the false prophet and the wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that have received the mark of the beast, which deceived them that have received the mark of the beast. So the false prophet, they were set up to deceive you, to take it, right? And the beast, which received them that have received the mark of the beast. So many people are going to be deceived. Who are the ones who are going to be deceived? Those that are following after the beast. And them that worshipped his image, his likeness, his way of life. What does that mean? Conformity, right? It means higher level conformity. So your Masons are going to be the first ones to do that. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these Masons are tripped already. You have to read these prophecies to know what's really going on. Okay? And it says, these were both cast alive into the lake of fire. It says alive, right? Alive. What is that lake of fire? America. Right? That we know is going to be hit by nuclear destruction when Russia go to war with America and Iran and North Korea and all these other nations get involved. And it says, these both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone, which is known as America. That's going to be the lake of fire, right? So this is what's going to go down. This is the ultimate agenda. This is what they've been waiting for. This is what they've been desiring for. Because the elites, they're getting older now. They're getting on now, right? The Queen passed away not too long ago, and one of the Rothschilds passed away as well. One of the major, I forgot his name, passed away. So they're like, we have to speed this thing up now. Ultimately, it's all in the hands of Yahweh Shai. So now we went to that Baba Kashar. Right? So when we see people acting very funny, weird, and so forth, all doing the same thing, right? We know, yeah, they're being controlled by demons, first and foremost, right? They're being controlled by demons, right? Two blondies there, right? They're being controlled by demons, right? And yeah, there's a spiritual aspect to the demons as well, right? There's a spiritual aspect to everything, right? It's about control. It's about control. That's what it's about. That's what their agenda is about. Full control, full compliance, right? And those that are not doing that, well, they see it as that you have no need to be here. That's how they see it, right? So we went to that Baba Kashar. And also, let's go to 2 Ezra 16 and 70. For there shall be in every place, and next is the great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Those that fear Yahweh Shai. A great insurrection. Great uprising. Upon those that fear the Lord Yahweh Shai. Because they're the ones that are keeping the laws. They're the ones that are not going to side with the enemy. They shall be like madmen, sparing none. Verse 71. But spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Because, you know, when we talk about martial law troops, you know, when we talk about police officers, what's their duty? Their duty is to protect the interests of the bankers. You know that, right? The elites. That's their interest. That's what they're designed to do. Right? And yes, they're Masons as well, whether you know it or not. When you see police officers, they have black... I don't know, do they still... Yeah, they still wear them hats. Black and white checkered hats. Right? So they even sworn into an oath as well. To protect the interests of the bankers. Even your military forces, to protect the interests of the bankers. So they're going to push that. That's another thing. That's where you get that word forces. Oh, military force, police force. What does force mean? Force. Right? Why do you use force? To enforce what? Law. So they're using force to enforce law. You're going to see all these things happen. These things are going to happen in real time. Right? And it says, for they shall be like... Hold on. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. It's going to happen. Right? When shall they be known? Who am I chosen? And they shall be tried as gold like in a fire. Right? So that's what's going to happen. You're going to know who really is a Jew. In that time, you're going to know. Because the elect are going to have certain miracles, certain things that are going to be happening. And it's going to be obvious. Right? Obvious. Okay. So we went to that Baba Kishar. These are the times we're living in. We have to stay focused on Yahweh Shai. Right? So now we went to that Baba Kishar. When you go to Samuel's 15 and 23, 1 Samuel's 15 and 23. Bro, you can't save those that have given themselves over to the beast. You can't do that. That's why you have to be separate. This is why Yahweh Shai, Paul was saying, be separate, be separate. Get away from this world. Separate yourself from this world. Even though we still have to do things in this world, no, be ye separate. First Samuel 15. And 23. For rebellious is the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is what? As iniquity, and idolatry, because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he have rejected thee from being king. This is what was said to King Saul, because he was being stubborn and rebellion. And that's rebellious is as a sin of witchcraft. So most people, they're rebelling against who? The Messiah. That's witchcraft. It's open rebellion. It's open, bro, and they're showing you now. All these symbols you see on people's clothes as well. The pentagram, the circles of the sun disc. There's all types of symbolism you're seeing. The evil eye, all these different symbolisms. It's open rebellion. Do as thy wilt shirts. It's all open rebellion. That's how you know we're getting closer to the end. Right? Now, once upon a time, Satanists were more disclosed. Now, Satanists, it's out in the open. Someone can wear a shirt saying, I am a Satanist. Hurrah. And people are clapping on. Open rebellion. That's why when you go to John, they said there shall be many antichrists. Let's go to John. Times are changing, man. And they want you to join in with them. They want you to join in with the orgy party. No, we don't want to join in with your orgy party. Excuse me just a minute. Man. Something I'm looking for in John. I think the page is missing. Hold on just a minute. Gonna need to purchase another Bible. Page is ripping out. Excuse me just a minute. You know in John, somewhere in John, it talks about try the spirits by the spirits, because there's many false prophets that have gone out into the world. Many. So, many. Remember, scriptures talk about the few and the many. There's many false prophets that have gone out into the world. Right? We've got to be cognizant of this. Right? So if you have many, then that means there's going to be many deceptions. Right? Can't find something in John I was looking for, but I can't find it now. Right? And therefore there shall be many antichrists. Right? That's why you have to try the spirit. What type of spirit is this? Is this individual, is he teaching the scriptures, but he has like a little twist of Christianities with white little baby seraphims and so forth? You're like, hold on, that's the spirit of Christianity. Or it can come for all. So you may have an individual, you may bring up some truth, but then, salvation's for everyone. The scriptures don't say salvation is for everyone. Everyone could be loved. The Lord don't hate. Who the fuck told you that? Who told you the Lord don't hate? Hold on a minute. So we hate. We have them emotions, but the Lord Jehovah can't possess them emotions. You need to come out of them Christian churches. Right? See, that's that false prophet spirit. See, you may have certain individuals that may have certain good intentions. They may bring things out. And another thing, when you're teaching, take your hat off. Take your hat off and take your hood off. Why you got your face covered for? Looking demonic as hell. I'm not going to even say names. Right? Oh, the Lord can't hate. The scripture says, I've hated Esau, but loved Jacob. That's that Christianity spirit, that Catholicism. Right? But let's get back to the topic, Baba Kishar. So we went to 1 Samuel 15:23. So people are in open rebellion. I also want to go to Thessalonians. Alright? Before we go to that, Baba Kishar. You know what? Go to it now. Bro, we're in that time. All these things are happening. Watch one of them movies that are futuristic movies. What's the word? Elysium. Oh, I forgot the other name of the other film. Elysium is one of them. There's certain films, right? Demolition Man, and it shows you that was all. Yeah, you can call it predictive programming. How the future was going to be in these times. There's now we're to the point now where there's nothing that you're doing which is not seen. Pretty much, everything is being seen. You remember that show? I used to watch it. It was called Big Brother. It was on Channel 5. Big Brother. You know how you were watching them in the house? Oh, that is subliminal. You know how you were watching? I used to watch that Big Brother. You know how you were watching them in the house on TV? Well, bro, that's what's happening to us on the screen. Similar to Truman Show, right? Yeah, it's Big Brother. You see what they're doing under the sheets. You see when they go in toilet, when they're eating, all their emotions. Big Brother. What's Big Brother? It's a surveillance state. Right? It's a surveillance state. See, all of that. Right? And you had them robots speaking to them. Why are you feeling sad today? Oh, well, cheer up, man. And bro, the technology's been in the works for a long time. We're talking about technology from World War One. Yeah, it's advanced. And can you imagine how advanced it is now? And example, you know when they have a phone, right? And they bring out a certain phone. That phone was already designed, 5-10 years before they even bring it out. Right? So let's go to Thessalonians, Baba Kishar. Yeah, this is the Big Brother state. But it's not a thing where you get paranoid. You realize, yep, this is the way it is, but Yahushua is coming to deliver us from the hand of our enemies. Because this man, he has a God complex. Someone that needs to do that has a God complex. Yeah, we need sensors, we need cameras everywhere. Yeah, that's the devil, basically. And the devil's using people to fulfill that agenda. Because the devil's a copycat. Right? That's why it's called artificial intelligence. It's artificial. Right? Just like if you have artificial food, it's not real, it's artificial. It's man-made. Right? So that's how this system operates. Right? Go to Thessalonians, Baba Kishar. And that's why you want to get rid of these devices. If you got Alexas, if you got these Alexas devices, get rid of that. Bro, it's been reported. Bro, there's documentaries on it. The Alexas, your Amazon, These devices, they're listening to what you're saying. They can hack into what you're saying in your households. Alexa, turn off the lights. Alexa, switch on the lights. Bro, if it's doing that, then can you imagine what else is picking up on? You get rid of these devices. No, it's not cool. All these things could be weaponized against you, right? And I've been looking up some houses. There's beneficial purposes to wooden houses. If it was up to me, I'd be out here, bro. If I had the resources and the connections, I'd be building a wooden house. Lord willing, I'd be building a wooden house. I put some lead pipes upon that to keep the satellites out. Things are changing dramatically. Things are changing. It is an exciting time because this is prophecy. And when you read these things, you can link everything up what's happening. Right? But the thing is, the reason why you have so-called targeted individuals, because they're the ones that are less programmable. That's why they're known as targeted, because they're less programmable. That's why everybody is used in this algorithm to target them. So here it is. You have a supercomputer that's being used with all these people, citizens, to target one individual. If that ain't manipulation, you tell me what is. Go to Thessalonians, 1 Thessalonians 2, and jump straight to verse 7. The mystery of iniquity doth already work. It's at work, it's at hand. Right? The devil. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. So this devil needs to be taken out of the way. And he also has those that are working, saying what? Mystery of iniquity. Mystery of iniquity means mystery of lawlessness. So with this lawlessness getting pushed out. And when you push out lawlessness, wherefore, what do you have? You have, what do they call it? I forgot what this motto was. Push out, what's it? Push out order out of chaos, right? So this is how they're able to push forth certain laws and get funding. You would need what? Chaos, right? You would need disorder, lawlessness, right? So they come up with the chaos, right? Therefore, the same people that come up with the chaos, they come up with the chaos, right? Then the order, so that's like then the solution, then the order. But it's the same people that are doing this. It's the same people because they have the funding to create the opposition, controlled opposition. That's what it's called. They have the funding to do that. Have people smashing windows, anti-government. They can control that. If you have enough money, right? Come on, wake up. And it says, who's coming is of the working of Satan. I'm moving too fast. And when shall the wicked be revealed, who the Lord shall consume with shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. So how is this devil getting consumed and the wicked? By what? The spirit of our mouths. That's why they don't want us to teach his word. And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Right? Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan. So, when we see all these things, the tech, the high level tech, the drones, all these different drones, the plane drones and the normal drones, when you train stations, they have everything. Bro, everything's in level. There's just a lot of things they're not telling you. Don't think you're on a train and there ain't a camera being zoomed up on you with facial recognition or the whole lot. It's being implemented. When you go into a store, they have the facial they have everything. Right? The only thing they're going to do next is the hand scan. That's going to be the next step with the chip. They're slowly ushering this thing in. Right? You have the analogy of the frog in the pan. Right? It's called gradualism. This is how the elites work, the psychology. Gradualism. Gradually do that. Gradually put a frog in the pot. Right? And when the frog realizes it's too hot, by that time it's already baked. Gradualism. That's how this society works. So they're getting you used to the idea of convenience. Phones, laptops, cards, convenience. Right? So it says Baba Kishar. Working of Satan. So who's coming after the working of Satan? Those that are following Satan. Right? You ever seen people they're on their phones? right? You walk past, they're on their phones and whatever, right? Because they're being controlled by that. Yeah, they've been given certain information, what to do, what to say. That's the workings of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. So yeah, it's power and signs, but it's lying. It's copycat miracles. We're not all knowing, right? I always say you go to one place, it's just someone that has to follow you. You get off that train, another person has to follow you off that train with the phone. You get off that bus, you walk here, that person has to follow you with the phone. Then let that other person know you've just turned that way. Then it carries on, and it carries on, and it carries on. It's just, bro, that's them lying miracles. They're not psychic, even though you do have psychics, but they're not psychic. It's a phone with some data, right? And that's it. And with messaging, oh, he's going left, he's turning right. I mean, that's all it is, right? It's don't let them fool you, right? In other words, it's magic. That's what it is. Sorcery, right? They're not all knowing, because if they were, they wouldn't need devices. Now we, on the right hand side, we have discernment. We could sense what they're doing before they even do it. That's the real power, right? They don't have that power, right? And it says, Baba Kishar, and with deceivableness of all unrighteousness, power and signs and lying wonders. So they're working with lying wonders. And what is that tying with? Tech. Fusion center. That's lying wonders. How are they able to penetrate the walls with certain... That's lying wonders. How are they able to manipulate people's thought patterns? That's lying wonders. Through EMF, EFL, ELF. That's lying wonders. Right? Excuse me. And I remember Belgium, long time ago, was it 1900s? They located supercomputers known as insiders, right? Belgium had this for a long time as the B system. It was called a Skynet machine, right? In the 1900s. And it was to counteract negative... Hold on, that's it with that, yeah. It was basically to keep on a note on what's happening and to map out people. So that's what's happening in real time. People's movements, they want people being controlled. Really, they don't even really want you to come out of your city unless it's for you to work and return back. They don't want you moving freely. They don't want that. They want you to go to work, come back home. Go to work, come back home. Go to work. That's why they also follow you. They don't want you to be free. But the thing is about this truth, we're free in Yahweh Shai. That's the difference. They're not free. They're robots. Right? They're flipping robots. But this is real life tech. And does it work to a certain extent? To a certain extent. Alright? But it doesn't work against the elect. Okay? Now, go to Matthew 24. Okay? Yeah, the whole thing is to map you out. What's he going to do next? But they're not God. See, that false illusion, that shows you how proud. They're not God. They're not God. They're just a bunch of dirty-ass Masons that probably eat shit for breakfast. Right? And while you're watching me, your wife's probably cheating on you. Oh, that was a bit below the belt. But you know what? Sometimes you got to be a little facetious. Right? They think they control everything. Oh yeah, they can tap into certain things. Your heartbeat. They can make your knee hurt. Certain things. But they're not gods. That's what but they're not God. They're not the Most High. Right? So don't fall for the tricks. And the voices you may hear as well. I've done lessons on this before. The voices, some call it V2K. It's a frequency modulator. You know, you can have like a how about you could have a headphone, right? You could have a headphone, and with that headphone, or you could say a microphone, right? A microphone, and a frequency modulator, and it goes round and round. Wrap it to wrap it to a building, and that goes round and round, and you could have a voice, a frequency, someone speaking through it. Bro, it's just someone speaking through it. Or you can have someone that done a recording and leave that there and press that button. That's all it is. It's demons. But you're thinking, oh, it's a voice. It's a voice in my head. No, it's called demons, right? That's what it is. It's a demon on the other end of that device speaking, right? Trying to communicate to you through signals, through frequency, right? And I believe they have them in every city to dumb people down. That's called mind control, right? I believe they have it in every single city, right? And it spins around. They can have it spin around. And I've told you before, they can have it say, sleep, sleep, sleep. But it's low, it's low, it's low, it's low. It's not obvious to the public. It's not supposed to be. Because if it was obvious to the public, then the public would be in an uproar. Well, they should be in an uproar, say, well, what's this going on? That's called hypnotism. It's called subliminal hypnotism. They have it in most cities. It's just that you won't even be able to hear it because it's so low. They could turn it down. I forgot what MHZ, what is it? MHZ? It's called megahertz. And it's very subtle. So they could say to the people, you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid. Sleep, eat, sleep, eat, sleep, eat, shit, go to work, sleep, eat, shit, go to work. They could do that very subtly. And next thing, people are under programming. This is real technology, man. This is real stuff. But that's them lying wonders. That's them lying wonders. Right? And it all ties in with telecommunications. And when you go to Ephesians, it talks about the prince of the air. You know who the prince of the air is? Right? The prince of the air is Satan. So Satan, he also has power over the airfields. Right? Over the fields. Right? Of this world, the air. We go to Ephesians 2. Right? And you have he quickened and who were dead in trespasses and sins, where in time past you have walked according to the course of this world. Right? The cycle of this world of darkness. According to the prince of the power of the air. So why does it say prince of the air? And who's it referring to? Look up that word prince of the air. It says demon. It says Satan. So hold on. You mean to tell me Satan also is controlling the air? Yes, he is. Have you ever done videos and there's a strong wind and it kind of knocks down your camera and it knocks down your tripod stand? That's Satan not wanting to work together because he controls the what? Read it again. When in time past, according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air. Prince of the power of the air. So Satan can also mess with the airwaves. Ask anybody that's really intelligent and they really understand. I'm talking about high level technicians and electricians. Ask them if there's any connection between electricity, right, and demons. Watch what answer they would give you. They'll tell you, yes, there is. Right? They'll tell you, yes, there is. Right? You know, when people talk about electronic magnetic fields, you know what? That's demons. That's demons. You know, when there's a faulty, you're doing a video or there's a faulty, something's faulty, that's Satan messing. So even when we do these lessons and something's happening and there's a fault, that's Satan operating through what? The prince of power of the air. Ask anyone that's a part of telecommunications that's been working for 15, 20 years and more. They know this. They know this stuff. Right? It's advanced. Prince of power of the air. So he can also mess with the airwaves. Okay. This is his tools. This is what he has to his advantage. So do you know when we talk about frequencies, V2K, modulators, MHZ, that radio frequency, that's Satan that's behind that. And he does that to scare you. Right? Okay, he can put up on your flesh like a rubber band. He can do that. Satan can attack he attacked Job's flesh, didn't he? Okay. And the prince of the air and the spirits that now worketh in the children of disobedience. So it says the spirit that worketh in the children of disobedience. So when we see people doing these things, it's the spirit of Satan upon them. That's leading them to do these things. Children of disobedience. Right? I'm giving you some high... Hey, man, if you have a pen and paper, please write this down. Keep this down. Because I don't do videos like this all the time. I'm just giving you from the experience I've been through and the scriptures as well. Linking everything up. Right? So tech. What's the link between tech and Satan? Yeah, it's all linked up. But ultimately, who's over the tech? The Heavenly Father. Because he has lightning, the sun, right? He can all that. But Esau, he has programs that can manipulate forces. He has that. Because he's the prince and power of the air. DARPA, heart program, weather patterns, right? Make people feel low, make them feel happy. He can do that, right? He can make this technology can make a whole town feel depressed. It can make a whole town fall on each other. Not fall on each other. It can make a whole town angry at each other. They have this stuff, right? They have this stuff. So we went to that Baba Kashar. I am so passionate about this. Matthew 24. But the thing is, and I believe, bro, I've already said it. Most of the people that are living around me, most of them are MK Ultra off. MK Ultra off. They just sound like robots, right? You got some voodoo doctors where voodoo, that's another sign of hypnotism. Voodoo is hypnotism, by the way, if you didn't know that. It's hypnotism, right? Just staying in his room. You useless. His mind has been cracked. Bro, he's no use. Someone like that is no use to the Heavenly Father. That's just a dark soul. Okay. And it gets funny after stuff. Like, you have to laugh at it and be like, bro, that's why we got to count it a blessing that Yahweh has woken us up. And we have this truth and we can spread it to others. Right? Because if you don't have this truth, guess what? You're useless. Right? Even sound like a zombie. Right, baby, just a minute. Let's go to Matthew 24. Let's jump to verse 21. For there shall be great tribulation. That's what times we're approaching. So we got to get our minds ready for that. Such as what was not since the beginning of the world. Right? Let me will myself back in now. Let me humble myself back down. I just get excited when I'm doing these lessons. As we're not since the beginning of the world. It's going to be great tribulation. Right? To this time there shall ever be. So there's going to be nothing compared to it. And except those days should be shortened. So the days are being shortened. This week, every day is going past so fast. There shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. So them days are being shortened. That's why time's going so fast. For the elect's sake. So that shows you how much Yahweh cares for his elect. Days are being shortened. Can you imagine if we were to be here another 20? But can you imagine if we were to be here another 10 years? How wicked this place would go. You can see the wickedness. You can see the wickedness people are doing. So the Lord is speeding up the times for the elect's sake. Right? So with this, I'm going to shut off here. Right? Hold on just a minute. That's pretty much it. Yeah. We're going to shut off here. Lord willing, this was edifying. And you've got what you needed to get out of this lesson. Because we are in that time. We are in that time. Remember, there's a lot of demonic bots. I call them demonic bots. Walking around. So just be circumspect. Cleanse yourself. There's things you can do. Cleanse yourself from these metals as well. Because they're spraying metals in the air. And the metals act as what's the word? As an antenna. So they can use that's another thing. They can use your body as an antenna. When these metals are in you. That's why you got to detox from metals. Remember, this is what they're doing. They're using people's bodies as antennas. And therefore they can link it up to what? Computers. In real time. Right? But the thing is, who wins at the end of this? Yahweh Shai. He's already got the victory. Always remember that. So whatever they're presenting before you is deceit. And it's not going to work against the elect. Right? And from time to time, guess what? The brothers in this truth, guess what? Our frequency changes from time to time. So what do you do when our frequency changes? Because if our frequency changes, that means we probably have, 5, 10 different... It depends on the spirit. So what, are you measuring one frequency? Because my frequency changes. So these people, they're not as smart, as intelligent. No, they are smart. The scripture says they're wiser than Daniel, and Daniel was a prophet. So they're wise, but what did Yahweh say about the wise men? Right? We can go to that before we shut off. They're wise to a certain extent. Alright? Baba Kushag. But what happens when you change up the patterns? When you change your patterns, when you change your behavior? then that means you mess up the algorithm. That means you're no longer predictable because you fuck up the you mess up the algorithm completely. So if you mess up an algorithm, that annoys them because they have to reset it, right? Just like when you change your patterns and you have these Masons want to follow you, that annoys them because they're used to doing things a particular way. So when you step outside of that way, that annoys them. It's easy. You just change your patterns if you choose to, if you really want to irritate them, and it does. Okay, right? And even when you get these vans, because you get certain vans, another thing, you would get certain vans popping up outside your house. These vans, there's different forms of it. There's Stingray vans that are able to tap into your household if your house is a smart household, and they collect, right, the data and your network, and they're able to tap into it and send forth frequencies and certain level of mind control. They're able to do that. So yeah, there's vans that pull up and do that, right, that are studying the public while you're in your household. Right, now if you really want to piss them off, you get out of the house when they turn up. Right, if you want to. Right, that's what they're doing when you see these people parked up in these vans. That's what they're doing. One of them is called Stingray. Okay, and they also communicate with other cars as well. That's why they do that. Right, highly advanced, but they're not gods. Remember that. Right, and a lot of these people are also traffickers as well. Yes, they're human traffickers. Right, bunch of freaks. Right, you should get them locked up. Bunch of freaks, bunch of perverts. Why are you looking at someone when they're in their house? Weirdo. Alright? And it says, Baba Kasha, 1 Corinthians, so now they are wise in certain matters, but guess what the scriptures say? 1 Corinthians 1:19, for it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and I will bring to nothing but understanding of the prudent. So the wise are what? Esau, and his technicians, and his professors, and his scientists, and so forth, right? But he will bring the wisdom of the wise to naught, right? All that neural mapping, that's going to come to naught, right? And guess what? I've got news for you. Do you know the same ones that are doing the neural mapping and all that? They're being tested out on as well. They're being tested, bro, because I have articles on this. A SIS contractor said that it wasn't only one person, they were also doing it to the employees as well. So those that were doing that, they were being tested out as well, right? And if they did speak up against it, they would be targeted, right? So this is real life stuff. But Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to shut off here because this was a load of information. And until the next time, Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.